Steven, you ask me this question all the time, right? I have clients out there that are attracting the wrong people. Like, they're just bringing in these low budget clients, and they always come to me asking me like, why am I attracting these types of people, right? So let's use this video to share with our audience why this is happening.
It's a good question. I think with anything in life and in general, whatever you put out is what you get back. So if your branding looks like doo-doo,
hell,
if you have nothing that's really sharing what it is that you do in a really good way that attracts people, people should be coming to you, right, in a sense. You got to be doing things that people want to do business with you. So if you're attracting low budget, meaning people that are not really paying like what you want, but if you're putting out services that are like $50, $40, you're going to attract those. Now, if you're looking to do a huge amount of volume,
great,
then it's fine. But as you probably say, and other people know, is you want to, work less, make more, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, what's your end goal, right? So do you want to work with less people, make more money? Hey, listen, if you're like me, has a family, has a 2-year-old son at home, and you want to spend more time with those folks, well, how do you scale, right? Selling 1,000 widgets, right, is a tough way to scale, right? Now, here's the deal. If you want to work with less people, make more money, then you have to raise your price, right? So what I would do is take an audit of myself, like you just mentioned, and really take a look at, because you are what you attract. And I think what happens is, I posted this on Instagram not too long ago. It was this big fat guy looking in the mirror, and in the mirror was this like svelte, chiseled, like bodybuilder type dude. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs look at their businesses like this. They think that their businesses are like awesome, but then when you get an outside perspective from a professional that really gives you the truth, they're like, oh, I never had anybody tell me that before. And that's the power of mentorship. That's the power of getting that outside perspective from from an expert. And when I come in and do audits, I'm not doing this to like criticize or fun or disrespect. I need to get you your true worth. I have to get you in front of the right clients. I got to get you the revenues that you deserve and want. And sometimes that means I got to tell you the truth. And so the truth is, I just had this happen. One of our newest Brand Accelerator clients, she came and she was like, can you just tell me what my funnel looks like? Like, give me an honest feedback. Like, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I said, who's your audience? She said, affluent women, 45 to 55. I said, this looks like a spammy landing page that I wouldn't put my credit card 2 feet from. And it's not a disrespect. I said, you got colors all over the place. You got 15 fonts. You have multiple calls to action. So my mind is just blown. I don't know what to click, right? And it just doesn't look polished, professional, clean. Like, it doesn't look like a rich brand at all. And if you're attracting rich people, then you need to look rich, like, period. So she's like, I never had anybody say that to me before. And I was like, well, I just want to tell you the truth. I want to get you the results that you're looking for, and this is what I would suggest. And then we went into it. Next thing you know, she's on board, and we're in the process of developing her entire brand. So here's the thing. Without knowing who your audience is, again, I go back to this 1,000 times. If you don't know who your audience is, how do you know how to show up to them? Right? And that's the problem. So what happens is we start to attract the wrong people, right? So the problem that this client had was she kept having these prospects come to her and them, be all into the program. And then when it came to price, too expensive, I can't afford it. So the qualification process needs work, right? But again, that's subconscious. When they hit that landing page, when they come to her brand and see that it's sort of like all over the place, I don't trust it, right? But if it was polished, professional, credible, that $3,000 price point wouldn't even dawn on me. How many people come to my website and be like, Henry, I want what you have. What's it gonna cost? You are so put together to the thumbnails on your YouTube channel. Everything is just posh. I need that because that's the type of client that I'm going for. They're looking for quality. I need to be quality. So you really got to look in the mirror, and it's tough. People don't want to get that truth, but the truth is going to set them free. The truth is going to get them to where they want to be, and it's going to take some time. It's going to take a strategy. It's going to take some rehashing. You might have to strip the house down to one stud and rebuild it. But let me tell you something. When you do that, your audience, one, is going to appreciate you for it, and two, it's going to give you the confidence. And you are going to feel so proud of your brand at the end of the day. You're going to go out there and be like, I have no problem charging this amount, right? Because I deserve it. I look at the way this looks, right? And people are just going to go crazy over it. And people think, design doesn't matter, right? But it is the front line of your brand and your business. If people don't trust the look and feel, they're not going to step foot.
So how do you qualify somebody up front to know if they're going to be one of those, low ballers, they're going to waste your time? That's the most important thing.
It really is. No, it really is. And the way that I would tell you this is simply on your website, you really need to call out your audience, right? And if there's an application process that you have, like we have an application process, you got to pay $100 and you have to fill out a questionnaire. And on that, before you pay that $100, it says right there in a disclaimer, Henry typically works with people that are generating a minimum of $20,000 a month in revenue. There's my qualifier. If you don't make that kind of money, chances are we're not going to work one-on-one together because you just can't, you're not at that level to afford it yet.
You're putting it right out
there.
Put it
right out there. Okay. And you just cut all of that nonsense right out.
Do you think that for as many people that view your website, do you think that shaves a lot of...
It does.
A lot off? Okay.
It does. So here's the thing. People don't value free, right? And I've heard this 1,000 times. It was so funny. A couple years back when I started charging for these introductory consults, people thought I was crazy. Henry, there's people doing what you're doing for free all day long. Why would anybody in their right mind pay you $100 to talk to you for 30 minutes? It's the perception of value. Everybody that has paid that $100, you know what they say to me? You came off as more valuable than your competitors because you're charging for it, right? So again, we talk about micro commitments. So they pay $100. Listen, $100 is not much money, but you got to think about that before you throw down $100, right? It's not like 20 bucks, right? Yeah. 20 bucks, you lose it on the side of the street, you're not worried. 100 bucks, that might have hurt a little bit, right? So they pay that, and that's a micro commitment into investing in themselves. And then when they get there, they say to themselves, okay, here's the presentation, here's how he can help me. I've already paid $100. I know that this man can help me. What's that investment going to look like full term, right? And then we start to level everything up. And so I'm a huge fan of this line. The quality of your brand will determine the quality of your clients. How do you attract beautiful people? Say you're single, right? How do you attract other beautiful people into your life? By being beautiful, right? That's how you attract those types of people in your life. And that's the same thing for business. If you're not being the person that you want to attract, then why should they invest in you?
So do you think businesses could be losing out on potential sales if somebody goes to the website, they don't see that representation, they're like, it's all right, they'll just leave? I mean, is that usually how it works? They would just leave?
Or if the message doesn't match, right? That's a huge turnoff, right? If people are confused, if they come to your page, they come to your site, they come to your brand, and they're confused about what it is that you do, you're not going to attract the right people. And they're just going to run. They're going to run the other way. They're not going to walk, they're going to run. So everything matters. Everything's connected. The way you show up, right, is everything to your business. I always tell people, like, the thumbnail on your YouTube channel, the content that you put out on your Instagram, the way that you speak, the way that you stand says so much about you before you even open your mouth. And that's why branding is such a big part of growing your business. Like I made this analogy the other day. Your brand's message, your brand's design are the front line of your empire, okay? And we all know if an empire doesn't have a strong front line, what happens? Vulnerability and subject to attack, right? So your empire doesn't stand a chance without a strong front line. And that is very, very important for you guys to understand. So it's worth every penny to invest in your design, because listen, it's 2019, it's only getting more competitive, it's only getting more confusing, it's only getting more crowded. So how do you stand out?
So let's take it, before we wrap this up,
Sure.
one step further. They go through the ClickFunnels process, they fill out the application.
So it's not a ClickFunnels process,
Okay.
it's just an onboarding process.
Right.
Yeah.
They fill out the information, they pay the $100, they meet with you, you present them something. What about the art of selling yourself?
That's right.
Because what if you have all this nice stuff, but you just blow the deal?
Well, that's one of the questions that I ask my Brand Accelerator clients. Like, we can put together this strategy for you if you don't already have one. So we can make a pretty site, we can build your brand, we can make it look like $1 million. But what's your sales process look like? Because that's the second step, right? If you don't have that, you're that pretty guy or that pretty girl with no personality. You're not gonna have the leverage to close. And we need to help you with that. So I have a sales process that I bring my Brand Accelerator clients through to allow them the understanding and the process, right? So it's a series of questions. It's a very systematic approach from taking them from prospect to paying customer, right? So again, without a tailored or customized marketing and sales strategy, you're dead in the water. So you really need to pay attention to that when it comes time, because again, people are either all sales, no identity, or they go all in on identity and no sales process. And that's where you fall short. And that's where, we have an advantage to other branding agencies because we're experts in the ClickFunnels platform. So what we do is we use ClickFunnels to help our clients bridge the gap, right, between prospect and audience to actually becoming a customer. And we've gotten very savvy with using this software. It's all about tools. You have the right tools, you can build anything you want. So we use the ClickFunnels platform very, very intentionally to help bridge that gap. And it's been giving our clients some great, great results because they don't have a process. They don't have a systematic way to take a audience member to a paying client. And I tell them all the time, if you don't have that, you really don't have a business.
Wow. So I think it's a combination of, you're losing sales because you're possibly horrible at selling, right? You don't have a good representation of your business, whether it's your website, your social media, your brand presence, and then you're not qualifying people.
That's right.
Right off the start. I've been in countless meetings where we talk and proposals, and a week, a month goes by, you think you have it, and then it just floats away. And that could be numerous reasons, but
yeah, qualification is so key. Like that's why I put the $100 call. And it says it right on my website too. Why do I pay $100? Because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want you to waste mine. Period. Yeah. And there's a lot of folks when I had that free, right? People wouldn't even show up to the call.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's nothing invested.
Right.
They have nothing invested. They got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But if they don't show up to call, they lost $100.
Yeah. Well, great insight today, man. And thanks to this video, my sales are up 80% already.
I love it. Thanks a lot, my friend. So check out some more videos on building your brand, growing your business, and I can promise you, you're going to be thinking a lot differently when it comes to attracting the right customers to your business.